It's the final round of the World Superbike Championship in 2025, and we're here at the wonderful Jerez circuit in Spain. It's time for the second practice session to go green, and Daniel Petrucci is in the commentary box over at TNT.
That I have surgery on this end.
Well, James, you know what about wrist injuries, hand injuries, and ironically now Nico Spinelli, who's subbing for you, he's hurt his thumb, hasn't he, in a crash this morning on the same hand as well?
Yes, yeah. I hope sincerely that the outcome will be like the last time he was on my bike. He won that race, an incredible race, and I hope he will have fun this time.
Obviously, we're just starting the FP2 here at Jerez. This is a tyre allocation. The lap time in qualifying last year was unbelievable from Nicola Buliga. That 37.5, I think it was, wasn't it, last year? Unbelievable. Do you think we can see many more riders in the 37s this weekend?
I think so. This year we have seen with the development tire from Pirelli. There is this development tire from the SCX. It's called 126. It's really a grippy tire, really soft construction, so it means it's really fast and really constant along the race distance. And I think we will see this time. I think we will be improved.
Many tributes going to this man here, Jonathan Rea. It's his final weekend. How has it been to be racing on the same track and the battles that you've had with him this year and many year before?
Yeah, it has been sincerely. I was emotional when I saw him after the announcement in Magny-Cours. My hands were shaking when I went there, and I just say thanks, because it has been just a pride and honor to race with him. Really an example of especially of motivation after a 6 world title, being still here, trying to be as fast as he can, fighting as hard for a world title like he did for a 17th place. It's unbelievable what he did. If you look at the stats, it's something I think unreachable. And yeah, a big honor and pride to be racing with him for some years.
Danilo, I'm really interested to get your opinions on who's going where next year as well. So you're going to be on the BMW. Miguel Oliveira is joining you. Alvaro's with a Barney Ducati. So let's start with Alvaro. He's going to be on the bike you're currently on for next season. So we're going to have more or less the heaviest and tallest rider, or certainly one of them in yourself. Now the smallest and lightest rider is going to be on your bike. That's going to be interesting to see, isn't it?
Yeah, exactly. Barney will go from the heaviest rider to the smallest rider. And but for sure Alvaro got a big experience, and he remain in the Ducati group, so they will have all the data, all the support from the factory. So I think they already know what to do on the bike, and I think Alvaro will be competitive as always.
Obviously, being so light, the new Ducati comes out next year as well. Do you think that Ducati are going to be able to distribute the weight of the bike to maybe help Bautista with the rider and weight? Because he's really struggled, hasn't he? So 5 or 6 kilograms, it doesn't sound a lot, but it is a lot, isn't it, on the bike? Yeah,
it's a lot, especially because being the smallest and the lightest rider, he has the heaviest bike. So the fact is that we have been talking with Alvaro, because he's promoting the rule to remove the rule to the minimum weight, and I signed that rule even if it's against me, because let's say Alvaro for sure got an advantage in some parts, but as we say, you can put even 30 kilos on and Alvaro will be faster than anyone on the straight, because as you know, the speed on the straight is all about the aerodynamics. Then Alvaro needs to manage maybe more weight during the first part of the race, but then for sure he has, let's say, less weight to carry around for all the race distance, and at the end of the race, for sure he's good as a tire wear. He's really light, and he doesn't use so much the tire on the shoulder, so this is an advantage from him. But yeah, I think Alvaro will be good. The new bike is much better in acceleration because it's a completely different swing arm with double arms, let's say.
Have you tested the bike already, Daniel?
No, I just tested the standard bike, the production bike, and it's quite different from the Superbike. But
they're
for
not
sure,
they're not letting you enjoy
no,
the new technology before you go to
unfortunately
BMW.
Unfortunately not. I was really curious because at the end, one of the limit of this bike is that the swing arm can't be stiff as a double arm swing arm. So this is one of the update they will have, and I think it will be really a good bike.
Is it because Pirelli are improving, Pirelli are getting more grip, that the stability and the stiffness of the swinging arm needs to be stiffer? Are you at the limit now with a single swinging arm?
Yeah, we were on the limit, especially when the bike is completely bent and when there is a small hairpin. I mean, we suffer a lot in the slow corners, and this is for sure a good thing. It's completely, you know, the Ducati you see from the outside, it's looking like a normal bike, but actually it doesn't have a chassis, and it got just half of the swing arm. So it's really a complicated bike, but really fast. But it's since a lot of years that the bike is the same, and the development has reached its limit. So I think that unfortunately the new bike will be quite fast, because I said unfortunately because I will be with BMW, and I hope it will be even faster.
Where should we expect you to be then in Miguel Herrera? Because I'm reckoning nothing against you, but I think at least to begin you're going to be somewhere between where Toprak is and where this man Michael van der Mark is. What do you think?
As I said always, my target is to improve the results of every year. This time I was improving my result as a championship. I was fighting for third, and yeah, I want to be, let's say, with Nicolò. At the moment, if you look, to be honest, if you look at the championship of this year, there will be no one that can go against Nicolò next year without Toprak.
Are you taking Luca Manelli with you down?
I don't know, because a few weeks ago was quite let's say safe that Phil Maron would have stayed with me, and in these days we are talking about the crew chief of the future. I don't know at the moment who will be. Luca is from many years Ducati in the Ducati group, but he has exposed the idea to following me, but it's something really, let's say, fresh, because we just knew from last week that Phil Maron won't be with us next year.
Well, that's unfortunate for you, isn't it? Good news for Tech 3 KTM, I guess, which is where we believe he is heading in MotoGP. If you are just switching on, Nicolo Buliga was fastest this morning on a 1:38.5, and look, it looks almost as though he's on rails, isn't it? Down into the last corner here at Jerez, absolutely flying, and everybody trying to get in some sort of race simulation now in temperatures that should be like what we see in the long races across Saturday and Sunday. James, I just want to say to you, if you can hear the interference in your ears, it's not going to air. You can't hear it at home. Do you know what it is? It's Danilo's little device on his wrist. That's what's coming through our headphones. It's making like a buzzing noise, but I know you can't hear that at home, so that's good news.
We know it's working.
Now we know it's working. It's doing something.
Yeah.
Danielo, who's going to be a world champion this year?
Let's say it's difficult for me because
one of them's your current employer and one of them's your future employer.
and then especially I have a good relationship with both Toprak and Nicolò, but as an Italian, for sure I would like to see Nicolò champion, but let's say they find a way, because at the end Toprak will leave at the end of the season, and Toprak it's got a good gap this race. I think Nicolò will win the race, and Toprak the championship, I think.
Let's just see if we can listen to Phil and Toprak. There's a yellow flag out there in the meantime.
That's Rinaldi.
Rinaldi's had a problem.
If he's crashed there, that is fast out of turn 11, turn 12, so hopefully he's just gone into the gravel.
Soft setting, you can ride with this. Hard braking, okay? I think
Oh dear.
No, he has crashed. That is fast there, Greg. Between turn 11 12 is to come out of there, and I hope it's not a high side, because if he's high sided on an R1 out of turn 11, Michael Ruben Rinaldi will be very, very lucky to get away with that. He's pointing at his hips and his pelvis area. Fingers crossed the Italian's going to be okay with that one.
Yeah, don't be surprised to see the red flags come out. Touch wood here in our commentary box. I'm touching the desk. We won't have a red flag. In the meantime, Buliga, as you can see, we're on board with him now. He's crossing the line. Michael Rinaldi managing to walk away with the assistance of the marshals, but managing to walk away. So that's good news. He wasn't feeling well, was he, in Estoril last weekend with gastroenteritis? And now this, the last thing he needed. Jonathan Rea. Now, was that a moment, James, or is just that the classic Jonathan Rea foot off the peg that we always see?
Just classic on the outside. Or his leg, on the outside leg, he always goes into the corners and takes his foot off the foot peg, and he kind of clamps his legs around the fuel tank.
I think Buliga's hit trouble, James.
Oh,
he has.
Maybe a technical problem. It doesn't look like it's been done. Oh, no.
Right.
No, but that is massive as well. If I can break through the transmission there. Nicolo Buliga has stopped. Yellow flag's come out. He's rejoined, but Buliga in trouble.
Left foot comes off the foot peg and then grabs back on it. When he opens the throttle, he then puts the foot on and then clamps the bike again. But as he's going into the corners, he likes the freedom of his feet to be moving around to kind of give him a bit more space on the bike.
Danilo Petrucci's best friend, Andrea Iannone, on screen here, who caused all of that carnage back in Hungary. So what's happened to Buliga? Danilo, can you see anything obvious? Something broken?
I was just looking from the previous image, and there was something leaking. I see something leaking from the left foot peg. I hope it won't go on the tire.
Iannone spotted that too. Look. I was.
Yeah, Iannone, you got the exhaust. Yeah.
Oh,
it's coming out the exhaust at the bottom. So it's just puffs of smoke on the bottom exhaust, just where the number 11 is, where the white 11. You can see there, just as it's accelerating, you can just see the puffs. We saw it with Francesco Bagnaia in MotoGP in Japan on the last couple of laps, where it was on the bottom exhaust. You could just see the smoke. But is Buliga going to get the black and orange flag? You would have to say so. This could be red flagged if he carries on with this.
Yeah, it's really a dangerous situation, because we don't know if it's oil or water, and especially if it's going down on the tarmac, it will be really, really dangerous. Both for the rider, I think, must leave immediately the track, because we don't know if it's oil, it's a complete disaster.
And if he doesn't, if he carries on with this lap, he might be in for a penalty here.
Yeah, exactly.
Nicola Buliga could have a grid place penalty if he gets back to the pits. This is massive, huge for the championship. This is not what Nicolo should get off the track now. No, he's going to come into the pits.
It could well be a penalty, boys, couldn't it? Because it's supposed to be get off the track at the earliest possible moment. Now let's just listen. Let's listen through turn 1. We're coming up to turn 2. This is where it starts.
Oh, yeah, no, it just snapped, didn't it? Obviously something on the tyre on the exit of that, and then Iannone luckily was able to tell him that something was leaking, but something was on his tyre and it let go on him, and he has got off the track immediately. So fingers crossed Nicolo won't be in for a penalty now.
Oh, well, yeah, how many corners did he do? That flag came out when he was round turns 9 and 10. He stopped at 12. So
I think it was the first time he stopped was corner 2, and I think he did almost all the track with the bike. And now the bike has completely stopped. I think it's completely broken now.
Obviously, we're going to see, with the session kind of like still open at the minute, the track's still open, so let's have fingers crossed no one hits any of the oil and falls off, because there are some really, really fast corners here at Jerez, especially turn 11, 12, where Nicolo Buliga is. We saw Michael Ruben Rinaldi fall off there, and there is a few places like turn 4 as well. They are corners that you do not want to crash on here.
Danilo, what's the situation with spare bikes? Are we right in saying that if you switch to your second bike, you're supposed to stay with it for the rest of the weekend? What's the rule?
Exactly. But let's say the technical director needs to check. I mean, you can't you can't use 2 bikes, because the second bike you're gonna use needs to be approved by the technical director, and I think it's not possible to use a second bike for this session. The session must be stopped, and you can rejoin. But I think it's not possible to use the second bike, the spare bike, for Nicola.
This is very sensible, isn't it, James? The fact he stopped on the outside of the fast right-handers because he knows that the team now getting to him, he can cross the paddock and do what Marc Marquez did. Where was it? Austria, was it, earlier this year in MotoGP when he came back through the paddock, and remember, he rode straight through the garage door, and Buliga's going to do a very similar thing here. This is an unusual on board. We're in the paddock now between all of the hospitality units on the right, trucks on the left, past Yamaha. Ducati's quite some way down the other end of the paddock, and this is a race against time now. This is so important for the outcome of this year's World Championship. He's losing track time, he's losing setup data. This could be the championship unravelling before our very eyes here in Friday afternoon practice.
The only thing is, the only positive at the minute, Toprak is nearly a second slower than Nicolo at this stage. I think Nicolo Buliga and the Ducati at this track is more than capable of beating the BMW and Toprak in all the races. He's going to have to anyway. He doesn't have any choice, but this is not what you need, because when a rider has to do this, he's tired. You know, your breathing is out of sync. You're also panicking as well, because there's a lot of pressure on these young riders, and obviously Raponi there, he'll have a plan already of what to do next, but this is not in the schedule, and when everything needs to be perfect for Nicolo and Ducati this weekend, this is definitely a hindrance for them.
Well, this bike has been so reliable, with the exception of Assen. Remember the breakdown he had with 2 laps to go there in race 2. And finally, Nicolo, you can now breathe. That's been a horrible few minutes. Look at that. Not at all happy. And this is going to be where he's got to keep calm. Now, let's just see if we can hear any Italian, because we've got the perfect man to translate for us. Let's have a listen.
See the anxiety.
Oh, bumps into the camera now as well.
You can feel the tension down there, can't you, Greg?
You really can. Oh dear, look at his face. He did not need this. He did not need to be in the garage watching himself on the screen with a 39-point deficit to Toprak. If Toprak wins race 1 tomorrow, the championship would be over for this man. Danilo, could you hear anything he was saying there?
Yeah, he told the crew. He said he felt at turn 1 an incredible cut of the power, but he think is something broken from outside turn 1, and then from that moment on we seen all the he said Iannone shake, say was waving at him because he said something going out from his engine.
This might not be a quick fix either.
No, I think the session is over for Nicola.
If something mechanical has happened to that bike, you might see this red Ducati, the factory Ducati that's going for the World Championship, not taking any further part in this FP2. How crucial is that going to be for the rest of the weekend? They've got a comfortable lead at this point, but it's a good job he has, because Nicola Buliga could lose a half an hour of the weekend when he's trying to be a world champion.
Well, this really is terrible news, isn't it, for Nicolo Buliga? It was his birthday yesterday, but that feels a long way in the past now. Well, look at the time left at the top of the screen. We had about, was it 35 minutes or so? We can actually have another look at that moment now. Thank you very much indeed to our TNT gallery back in London. We can have another look back at the moment. This is it again, James, and you and Danilo spotted at the bottom there, just in front of the rear wheel. What do you reckon that is, boys? Is that water? Is it oil?
No, well, yeah, it's some kind of fluid. It's very difficult to see if it is. It looked like it got some coloration of oil, and if he's gone out of the first corner and tapped the throttle and something's let go, that says to me something mechanical has gone on the side of that Ducati's engine somewhere, and it is leaking.
Danilo, by the way, whatever you need to do with your schedule, if you need to go at any moment, it's absolutely up to you. Stay with us as long as you like. You are welcome in this air-conditioned box. If you need to go, please go. So it's totally up to you. It's a pleasure to have you with us. Danilo Petrucci with us here. No, I'm not kicking you out.
He says that to me as well. With half an hour to go, he always says that to me.
The difference is I'd actually like you to go. All the jokes you've made about this haircut disaster this weekend. Anyway, never mind. 26 minutes
in fact,
left of
yes, the main question of the weekend, what do you think to the new haircut, Danny?
I can say he's more professional.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. At least somebody is around here.
we thought he'd been locked in prison between Estoril and here.
Okay, well, the good news is we can actually take a commercial break in a moment, because now we know Danilo's staying with us for a while. We won't say goodbye just yet, and we'll rejoin you on the other side of the break. So that's good news. 25 minutes to go then, and 35 seconds here at Jerez, where the track temperature now is 32 degrees Celsius, humidity 46%, with all that drama with Buliga, who's now in the pits. What a nightmare. Sam Lowe's here is up into second place on a 1:38.8. Only a few riders have actually improved their time so far this afternoon. So in the top 13, only Sam Lowe's, Bassani, Vickers and Vandermark have actually gone quicker than they were in the morning. Everybody else concentrating on their race pace. We'll be back in a second with 25 minutes to go.
Hey, look at us simply say fastest time in FP2 this afternoon, despite the fact that he hasn't actually improved on that lap time from earlier on today. Very similar, 1:39 flat. So Iannone seemingly, you'd assume at the front of that, or towards the front of that group of riders that you'd expect to be battling for a place on the podium.
Yeah, and I think for Iannone, we've seen it, we're here at Jerez, he's been strong in the past, and once you have that confidence, it does really just give you that bit of momentum going into the weekend. And certainly for Buliga, for Iannone, whenever he comes to somewhere like this, he'll view it as a real chance to be able to put yourself in the mix up against the likes of Buliga and show what you can do on the bike and try and beat close. Here at Jerez, the gaps are going to be smaller just because that's the nature of the circuit compared to somewhere like Estoril. And for Iannone, he's within a third of a second right now, and a couple of tenths behind Sam Lowe's as well. So it shows that the Ducati's working well and he's where he needs to be.
Yeah, obviously, one of the good things about here in Jerez is it's a superbike track. It's a Grand Prix track. It's used in Junior GP. It's used a lot for testing. So everyone's more than familiar with the venue, and with the short straights as well. Only 600 metres, the longest straights here. Oh, that now we get
you can see
with
exactly
the audio
what
as well.
There for Buliga, once he opens the gas through turn one, that's what Iannone would have seen immediately, that puff of smoke, and tell him that there is that issue. And for Buliga, that's in all likelihood going to be pretty terminal for the session. But you never.
Nicola Buliga in trouble. This is a replay from just a few minutes ago here at Jerez. Greg Haynes, James Tosin, and we're delighted to say Danilo Petrucci with us in the commentary box. Buliga with an issue, stops in the gravel, and what a nightmare this is for the World Championship contender who's fighting Toprak Razgatlioglu. 39 points between them. So Danilo Petrucci, if you are just joining us here this afternoon, welcome along. It is now 22 minutes past 3 in the afternoon. Danilo with us here on TNT Sports and Discovery Plus with his hand injury, unfortunately. We can't believe this, can we? What drama in the championship.
Yeah, for sure. It's really important, this session, because it's the only session you have at the race time of tomorrow, and could have been, let's say, like a race simulation or something you need to try for the race of tomorrow. For sure, Nicolò has something more. Now the yellow flag has come out another time. Iannone, turn 11.
Oh.
And it's a really important practice session. We'll see if Nicolò could join again the session, but I think for him it's over. I think his engine is gone.
Absolutely it is. You could hear it pop, didn't you? Something significant broke within that Ducati engine out of turn one. We'll keep an eye on it. Toprak Razgatlioglu, though, he's obviously changed the bike a little bit, and it's going really well. Look at this. Less than 2/10 at the third split, but there's a yellow flag, so he will have to slow down, which he has done there. Iannone has also crashed coming out of turn 11. Just like Mark and Ruben Rinaldi, these are absolute. It's so quick through there. If we get a replay of that crash, I really do hope it's the front end. But here comes Toprak. Has that slowed him down, the MAE Honda, as he comes across the line? Yes, it has, 1.3. You could see he just rolled off it through the fast turn 11 and 12 because the marshals were still in the gravel. But looks like Toprak's found a little bit of something. Oh, here we go. Looks like Nicola Buliga. Was it a quick fix? It looks like it's going to be. And they are starting the number 11 Ducati. Is it going to start? Is it going to run? Really interesting. If these engineers have got this bike running again to exit in this FP2, they've done unbelievably well. I'll tell you what, he'll do even better to get that bike back there. You can see the team there. They're looking pretty anxious because Crashing at turn 11, you're lucky to get a motorcycle back if you crash there.
Well, this is a more exciting Friday afternoon than we normally get, isn't it? Just under 21 minutes to go. Toprak pushing on. He's aware, of course, of Buliga. We saw him on the screen just a few moments ago. He was watching Nicolas Dramas on the TV just as we are. And this is currently Toprak's best lap of the afternoon session so far. Best time of this morning for him was a 1:38.6, which put him second, within 1/10 of this morning's fastest rider, Buliga, who's now having to patiently, but I'm sure running out of patience very quickly, wait in the garage to get that bike back out there. That is incredible, isn't it, if they manage to repair the Buliga's bike, James?
Be incredible. Daniela, we've got you here. You've been in MotoGP, you've won MotoGP races, you've been there and done it. What are you hoping to see from Toprak with Yamaha?
Oh, to be honest, he's one of the greatest talent I've ever seen. I had the chance and the luck to see many of great talents. Toprak, for sure, will need some time to adapt himself to the bike and especially to the tires. But I think he's really a talented rider.
One question I have for you. Do you think Toprak is going to be able to do what he does on these bikes with Michelin front tires?
Yeah, that's the problem. That's the problem because Pirelli and Michelin are both an incredible tire. Both the tire from Superbikes and from MotoGP are incredible tires. But they are different. And with Pirelli, you receive a lot of feedback from the ground. I mean, it's like the construction of the tire is softer, so it means that you can feel much better the limit. The Michelin front tire is not like that, and especially you can't stop a lot the bike with the some lean angle. And this is the maneuver, is the, let's say, the move that Toprak is really good to do. You see sometimes Toprak with the bike, yeah, is doing like a stoppie when the front, the bike is straight. But then when it start to have some lean angle, you can clearly see sometimes he is able to pull up the rear tire. It's something incredible. It means that the front tire got so much grip all the way down on the small piece of tire. And with Michelin tires, it's not possible to do that. So this means that Toprak needs to change his approach to the corner. But I think he has good skill to adapt himself and see. But for sure, he will need a bit of time, but he will. I will be one of his fans. I think he will come to the top of the standings.
You know, Danielo, in 2027, when all the rules change, there's no ride height device, there's less aerodynamics, there's 850cc, and most importantly, there is Pirelli tyres, isn't there? So let's just hope that when he learns the new tracks, I think there's 4 tracks that he's never been to, because a lot of people forget that he was in Red Bull Rookies years ago. So there's not many circuits he doesn't know. But if he can adapt, learn everything in 26, in 27, if Yamaha bring out a very, very strong 850 V4 engine, he could be right at the front, couldn't he?
Yeah, for sure. From 27 on, there will be a massive change, especially in MotoGP, starting from Pirelli tires, then as you said, the completely different bike. And I think from that moment on, Toprak will be, let's say, on the same level of the others. Then we will see maybe the real potential of Toprak. But I think since next year he can have already good races. Like Nicolo is really a talented rider.
Talking of Nicolo, he is back out there on an out lap, so they've got that number 11 Ducati out. We were fearful they were done for the afternoon. Iannone looks as though he is done for the afternoon. I'm glad he's okay, because if you're just switching on, Iannone crashed at turn 11 just a few minutes ago. Jonathan Rea, his last ever Friday afternoon practice before he goes into career races. 469, 470 and 471 this weekend here in Spain. 119 wins, 264 podium finishes, 6 times a world champion. Petrux, many people saying he never really got the opportunity he deserved in MotoGP. I think it could have been a very different story, couldn't it, for Jonathan?
Yeah. As I said, he's the one of the greatest here in World Superbike. He actually never had the chance to go in MotoGP, to spend times, it's really different. You have to go through many bad years in MotoGP with not really good bikes. It's let's say, it's a way of thinking. Just for looking at my career, I spent many times with bad bikes in MotoGP. I could have been in Superbikes, but yeah, sincerely, what Jonathan did in Superbikes is unbelievable. Then he has no chance with in MotoGP, no real chance. But as I think Jonathan could have been really fast also in MotoGP.
Just 15 minutes to go then in the session. If you do have any questions for Danilo Petrucci or indeed James Tozen, let us know here at Jerez in a very dramatic Friday afternoon practice session here. 32 degrees Celsius track temperature.
2 or 3 seasons of knocking the spots off one another. Firstly, Razgatlioglu and Ray, their first conflicts in 2019, and of course their championship scrap in 2021. And then for both of them, trying to go with Alvaro Bautista 2022 and the first half of 23. And they take you through photos of some of the most memorable moments and the most memorable scraps between them, as well as telling you how their stories converged in this championship to deliver Jonathan Ray 6 world titles, Alvaro Bautista 2 world titles, and 2 and counting as far as Toprak Razgatlioglu is concerned. The last 10 world championships between them, and possibly 11 by the end of the day tomorrow for Toprak Razgatlioglu, as he makes his way back into the pit box then, and immediately into discussions with his crew chief Phil Marron, with 14 minutes still to go in FP2. Nicolo Buliga, I can tell you, has also come alongside our commentary box and into his pit box at the end of that short run. So Nicolo Buliga, Sam Lowe's, Andrea Iannone, Toprak Razgatlioglu and Alex Lowe's your top 5, and they're all in their pit boxes at present.
Yeah, you could see Phil making that movement of his hand, and I think that what they're asking about is just that rear grip that they're feeling at that moment. It seemed that Toprak was saying that he just didn't have rear grip out there in the BMW right now, and that's the biggest issue for him. And we'll obviously wait and see if they're able to make a bit of a step in the final 15 minutes of the session.
As I said, top 5 in the pits at present, so a good opportunity to head back down to pit lane with Dave Goddard.
Yes, down here we're waiting for an update from Ducati on Nicolo Buliga's machine at the moment. But in the meantime, of course, the other big story this weekend is it's the final weekend in the championship for Jonathan Ray, and I'm joined by Yamaha team manager.
Doing so far here, so right down the whole emotion and on an incredible career. It's not really the atmosphere in the box. The atmosphere is we're here to race and we're here to do better, and that's what his full focus is on as well at the moment.
And also the fight for third place in the championship with Andrea Locatelli as well.
Yeah, not easy against Alvaro Bautista in Jerez. You know, Alvaro's had his challenges this season, but still over race distance. He's so good at managing the tyres and managing the performance, so it's a big ask, but we've certainly got a rider in Andrea that's not frightened in the first couple of laps to get his elbows out and make sure it's somewhere near the front. And in the races anything can happen, so yeah, the target is clear, but we need to perform a little bit better than we are at the moment to achieve it.
And also you'll be testing next Tuesday as well, looking forward already to the 2026 season.
Never been as fast as I wanted, but it's a track where you feel the speed also there, and yeah, you know, the track became one of your favorite when you're fast. When you are not fast, you like the track, but you never really liked as much as you can. And but yeah, I think Superbike needs to go in, let's say, where the people want Superbike. We go sometimes in places where Superbike is not really interesting, and some places that want Superbike. Maybe we have to look at smaller track, most enjoyable track for racing, like Brenzzacci is, for example.
I'll never forget that move that you pulled on Marc Marquez and Dovi, wasn't it, at the same time, coming out of turn 1 at Mugello. It was incredible. We've had John O'Gary Shooter has made a little WhatsApp Instagram group here, James, with you and I. I don't think this will be the first time Danilo's been on BMW machinery. The Ioda project team ran BMW-powered Suter-framed CRT bike back in the day. I remember that.
Yeah. It was back in 2013. There was this let's say, not what was not actually a category, but there was let's say a rule where you can teams allow it to build a bike around the production engine, and in 2013 I was racing with the BMW engine with the Suter chassis, and I did all the MotoGP season with that bike. Was I think last screaming engine in MotoGP, well, one of the last, and let's say the sound was good. The character and the power reliability a little bit less, but it was really far away in times.
Well, with your experience, Danilo, what's happening right now with Nicolo? He's got some new tyres on. What is the strategy for him with 10 minutes to go in FP2?
Yeah, I think he's trying the qualifying tire for tomorrow morning, but I don't think is good to try now. I think he has a new tire for sure at the front, not the rear. Maybe he's trying a new tire, try to, let's say, be as fast as he can, or try to put some laps on it. Now it's that time of the session where some riders put a new tire and some other not. They keep the tire, a new tire for tomorrow morning for FP3, or you have to keep one tire as a spare tire for the race, because if a red flag is coming out during race 1, you need to have another tire. So this is also depending about the strategy you are going to do with your team. Sometimes you put a new tire, for sure who is improving is with a new tire, but you can decide to put another tire also in FP3 tomorrow morning.
One question I've got, Daniel, you will have followed the BMW on many occasions, and I know as a rider, when you follow people and you can see the riders like Toprak and Marco van der Mark doing what they're doing, where do you think the BMW is stronger than your bike, and where do you think it is going to be difficult for you next year?
The BMW is really good from the edge of the corner till the exit of the corner. It means it got really a good grip and a good acceleration, especially in the slow corner. And yeah, Vickers has improved, I think, with the new tire. We don't know if it's a qualifying tire or not, but he has improved with a good lap time. And the BMW is really good exiting the corner. Maybe not as good as the Ducati as the power reliability. It means you have to manage a little bit more the anti-wheelie or the traction control. You need to play a little bit more with the throttle. For sure, Ducati got an incredible electronic system, and it's really easy. The engine is really easy. Then the chassis is not easy as I wanted, but at the end they are different. For sure, I can wait. I'm really looking forward to try the BMW and feel the difference, because if you look, it's a completely different approach. Inline 4 against V4, and completely different bikes.
Greg's just looking for some more questions, I think, but just a nod to Ryan Vickers. It could be a qualifying tie, but take nothing away from that lap time. Ryan, obviously going back to British Superbikes with the Honda next season, but he's doing himself no harm whatsoever on taking credit away from this paddock to BSB. Fingers crossed, maybe with the Honda, he can have another opportunity in the future to come back, depending on how Jake Dixon and Somkiat Chantra does next year. We're looking forward to this, but as you can see here, Nicola Buliga right on the pace. This is turn 13. He looks like he's a little bit deep there into the final corner, but as he exits onto the start and finish straight, is this going to be an improvement on a 38.7? It is a 38.6. Wow. Yes, he's back on the bike and back on the pace.
Well, what a great way to respond, to come back into the session. He came back out, checked the bike, went back in again, out again, and look at that, bit of a moment on the front there, but Nicolo Buliga, a 138.6, and yes, you're absolutely right, James, I was indeed just checking Instagram. It's Toprak's bike, look, that they're checking out now here at BMW, but Riley Davis has contacted us. Here's my question, if you didn't see it on X, I didn't, so thank you. With Ryan Vickers now confirmed to be testing alongside Tommy Bridewell for HRC next season, who do you think a few wildcard rides throughout the year could help him get his name back in the hat for a ride, or is that a waste of time? I certainly don't think it is a waste of time. I reckon that's a good idea, do you?
Yeah, no, it's not a waste of time at all, because, you know, Jake Dixon and Somkiat Chantra, they are not guaranteed success in World Superbikes at all. Obviously, Jake's a fantastic rider in Moto2. He's got Superbike experience. He's a brilliant, brilliant rider. But this is another level. And also the bikes are very, very different as well. So it's going to take some adaptation. I'm not sure about Somkiat Chantra. He's a good rider, but is he good enough to be successful in World Superbikes? I'm not sure. So it could be a savvy move from Roger Bonetti's manager on getting him into the Honda family, getting him established there, getting his reputation higher, and then hopefully he might get an opportunity if any of those riders I've just said don't get fast enough, quick enough.
Okay, this is going to start to get exciting soon, as Danilo's already said, everybody putting softer tyres on. I've got 3 quick questions for you, Danilo, before my questions are done for the afternoon, but let's just watch not Danilo Petrucci, let's watch Nicolo Buliga. First of all, over the line, what's he done now? Over the line comes the number 11 at 1:38.6, so another 0.03 of a second shaved off that time. Just a quick one before we get to the end of the session. What are your opinions on 3 things? Vierge on the Yamaha, Lecuona on the Ducati, and also who do you think is going to win British Superbikes this weekend, Kyle Ryder or Bradley Ray?
Oh, let's say both Xavi will be fast on the Yamaha. He's doing a good job on the Honda. We don't know how's the true potential of the Honda. It's difficult to see because sometimes they are both fast, sometimes they are struggling a lot. And let's say Vierge is a hard worker, low profile, always let's say constant. He brings always result, maybe not as high as you expected, but he's always there. Iker, I know him pretty well from KTM back in 21 in MotoGP. We have been teammates, and he is a rider when he has everything okay. He's really, really fast, and he is crashing a little bit too much, but he's really young. And he's still 25 and got a lot of experience already. And I think he will be a really bad customer next year with the Ducati, because when he's in form, I remember in 2021 in some races he was faster than me, Binder and Oliveira with the KTM. He was really, really faster.
Yeah, we look forward to that, don't we? We've got some brilliant changes. Obviously, Miguel Oliveira as well, coming to be your teammate, Daniela. I think everybody's looking forward to having a Portuguese rider as well in World Superbikes. It's not something that we've had. Obviously, the first Thai rider as well with Somkiat Chantra. So it's going to be a difficult season. I know Top Rack's going, and I know Jonathan Ray's retiring, but this is still going to be a very, very difficult championship next season. Yeah.
There will be no Top Rack, but at the end, a lot of riders are changing bikes, so there will be a good remix for the next season. I think, as you look at the result of this year, Buliga could win easy, but every year is a different story, you know. It's now there will be a reset from that moment on, because everyone is going to try the new bikes, and we'll see. For sure also Miguel with BMW alongside me will be really fast.
Yeah, we can just see the last couple of minutes now. Andrea Iannone has got back out there. He's put a fresh set of leathers on, and he's making his job very difficult. After a crash like that, to then get onto the back of Top Rack Razgatlioglu on a really flying lap is brave stuff. But we're on board with the Top Rack now. This is just Jonathan Ray in front at turn 13, the final corner at Jerez. As you go onto the start and finish straight, you can see the Yamaha pulls off there pretty well, but Nicolo Buliga is still leading. But Andrea Iannone, 39.3, only 0.3 off his fastest lap. So Andrea also getting back up to speed pretty well.
90 seconds to go then in the session, and is this the last time we're going to see these two greats on track together, Jonathan Ray and Top Rack Razgatlioglu, as they come through the left-hander of turn 3 into 4 and up to the Sito Pons corner at turn 5. Uri Payares, what's he going to be doing next season? Will he be staying with Yamaha? I heard a whisper in the paddock yesterday, I can tell you, from somebody at Ducati who told me that they think Uri might be going back to Kawasaki/Bimotor for next season. So we'll see what happens there into the final minute. Buliga still P1. Just very quickly, Danilo, who do you reckon will win British Superbikes? Is it going to be Kyle Ryder or Bradley Ray, or is it too difficult to say?
Difficult to say.
Oh, is this another problem for Nicolo?
No, just going wide.
Yeah.
It's going to be quick. The weather's also a factor as well at Fabrici Superbikes. There's some rain coming Sunday as well, so it's absolutely wide open, isn't it? You'd have to say that Bradley Ray's form around Brands Hatch in the past is kind of above Kyle's, but Kyle's, his consistency, his focus this season, it's brilliant. The comeback's been brilliant, hasn't it? And the finale is going to be outstanding this weekend at Brands.
13 seconds to go then here before the checkered flag comes out, and it's been a really interesting afternoon session. Not all good news for everybody, certainly not for this man who had a crash at turn 11 about 20 minutes ago now, maybe 25 minutes even. Time's gone very quickly today. Out go the checkered flags now. Over the line goes Toprak, and he is 4th on the combined timesheets, but 2nd in this particular session on a 1:38.6, but 4th for the day.
One thing, Danielo, Toprak is going to be frustrated, isn't he? He's slower than Buliga with an annoying amount of time, where there's other people that he's going to have to battle with from 2nd until kind of 6th.
Yeah.
And if he, like we saw in Estoril on the first lap, if he drops to 5th and 6th, any mistakes is very easy around this track, like turn 6, like turn 2.
Yeah, we have just seen Sam Lowe's, Iannone, Razgatlioglu, Alex Lowe's now, all riding in 39 lows. But yeah, Lowe's was asking some money to the rider was towing, and you see a lot of like you said, from Sam Lowe's to Alex Lowe's, all riding in 39 low in the last laps. And Buliga actually riding in 38, like 38.6, 38.8. So, yeah. And first of all, this is a track where it's not really easy to overtake, especially when you have more or less the same pace. If you start fighting, then you lose time, as always. But this track, with these big bikes, is really difficult to approach and overtake. And I think Toprak needs to stay as, let's say, as close as he can to Nicolò tomorrow, because then I think Sam Lowe's, Iannone or Alex Lowe's will be on his shoulder.
There's a few riders riding for their contracts, so into turn 1 and into turn 6, there are many riders that are wanting to overtake everybody, including this man on the track. So he can't afford to play it too safe on the early part of the races, because there'll be many just right on cue. This man here,
yeah,
if he wants to try and get past, you know what Iannone's like, into the hairpins. Anything can happen. It is all going to be down to race 1 tomorrow. However that pans out, we might have a world champion on our hands. I don't think so, because it looks to me that Nicolò Buliga is unbeatable. It's just his to lose now, really, this weekend, as far as races goes.
Yeah, and as long as that bike, of course, stays together and nothing goes wrong. Just one more question for you, Daniel, because I know we don't have too much time left now, from Giel Datema over in the Netherlands. This is quite a big question, but what's the one main difference between riding and racing a MotoGP Ducati and a World Superbike Ducati?
Actually the tire, and especially the stiffness of the vehicle, let's say. It's difficult to understand how stiff is a Superbike compared to MotoGP, because actually they have a completely different tire. For sure, the Superbike, it's let's say less stiffer, more soft. You can anyway, it's really another level compared to a production bike, for example. But you know, the Superbikes compared to MotoGP are a little bit have less power, so they accelerate a little bit less, and they brake with less power, let's say, less strength.
Well, now we know. It is Nicolò Buliga, but he could be facing a penalty from then Sam Lowe's, Toprak down in 4th position. Well, now we know who the situation is coming into this weekend. This could be a very feisty one. Make sure to join us live tomorrow for all the action. Race 1 coming your way. And take it from me, this is going to be a big one. We'll see you tomorrow. Take care. Bye-bye.